Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and I'm Mickey B. Fresh. So today we're going to talk about CBDCs, atomic settlement versus a multi-currency platform. And this is the battle that I believe is waging behind the scenes right now at the BIS and the technology network that they set up. So let's go over to a Coinbase article that talks about this today and what's being tested behind the scenes right now is a multi-currency platform. So that would be, there would be multiple different CBDCs on a platform that could trade against each other. Now this goes against what ODL is, which is atomic settlement. Now with multi-currency platform, they have to hold these assets and they have to create a whole platform for them to trade against. So that's more complex. And the BIS is testing all this right now. So this is going on as we speak. And we know there's multiple innovation hubs, multiple central banks involved. But what I want to get across here is that there's two types of value propositions to recreate the old system and have this multi-currency platform where China holds the digital dollar, the Fed holds some Chinese CBDC, they hold some Bank of England CBDC, they hold the digital euro, and now you're tying up capital again all over the world. And what's so special about ODL and with what RippleNet's building is that it's atomic settlement. And that's a game changer because you go right from the digital dollar, everything happens behind the scenes, and out comes the Chinese digital yuan. And then China receives that. So you don't need this whole multi-currency platform in between. And that's a big difference, and this is all going on right now behind the scenes. They're testing all of this. So the BIS has focused on 6 themes we got here: subtech, regtech, next generational financial market infrastructures, CBDCs, open finance, green finance, and cybersecurities. What's interesting about this is a lot of that overlaps with what's going on in the crypto world and the blockchain world. Everything is getting converged, and we're getting the traditional markets and they're adopting these CBDCs. But as they're building these, they're going to see that, hey, they have smart contracts to them. What money is actually changing. And I think that's really special with what's going on now. As you add new functions to money, they're programmable. So the CBDC that runs on Ethereum is going to have the $7 gas fee and 7-minute transaction time, where the CBDC that runs on the XRP Ledger will have very low fees and settle near instantly. So where these CBDCs are built is going to really affect how they act as money. And you're going to have the retail side, we're going to have the wholesale side. And it's all being developed now. So I don't believe that anything is predetermined. I think it's all being tested behind the scenes right now. And the best technology that is the most neutral and open is going to win out. And that's why I think we're in the right position with XRP, because it allows atomic settlement. And the Bank of England has spoke multiple times of how atomic settlement is so important because it's more efficient than creating this whole multi-currency platform behind the scenes. Now, once you start moving these CBDCs into different jurisdictions, you're bringing all the data over with them. And data is the new oil. So these platforms are going to have the data coming over with them and the identities and everything on top of it. So China, for example, could do social credit scores. Now, with those social credit scores, China could actually have influence then on other people who use the Chinese CBDC outside of China. And that's something that is a threat to the world and to the US. So these CBDCs are more than just taking a dollar and digitizing it, because you're adding technology to it and you're adding all this new functionality. But at its heart, it's really central bank money in an account and then issued on a distributed ledger. So any bank could have an account at the Fed and it has US reserves in there, and it could get issued on any ledger. So technically that would make it a true digital dollar or CBDC. Now, there's a lot of different proposals. Like you have R3, who's looking to do it on private networks. You got the Fed coin that they put out in 2016, but a lot of that stuff is outdated to where we are now. And now with the incoming of DeFi is going to pave the way for decentralized market infrastructure, to where you remove these intermediaries and you remove the fees and you build new business models on top of that. It's just going to boom the economic growth that we get out of it. So what fiat money is actually changing, and the central banks are going to realize this as they keep building this technology out and they get smart contract capabilities and they're on DLT. It's going to converge with this DeFi, which has begun to blow up on Ethereum, but that's just the first network. The ability to be able to create financial products without intermediaries, lending, borrowing, yield farming, these are just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come once we have digital fiat money. Because you're going to be able to create new forms of value, and tokenizing assets is going to take DeFi to the stratosphere. Let's put it that way, because that's what will really open things up. And you add with that digital identity, so then you could create real traditional financial products on the blockchain. Because you could do under collateralized loans then. You're going to need the lending, and not everyone could put up collateral for something. But eventually we'll get to the point where real estate, and we can open up all this value that's locked up and it's illiquid and bring it onto the blockchains and networks. And I think Flare really sits at the heart of this because it's the data provisioning network. And it's just starting out with bringing in the price feeds. It also digests all the data from those other F-asset networks. So the Flare network pulls in all the data from the Bitcoin blockchain, Litecoin blockchain, XRP Ledger, and then it's going to eventually be able to pull in from traditional markets as well. And especially with tokenization, you need the most accurate data. So trying to combine where CBDCs go, there is going to be this overlap in the future of these public blockchains that can scale, are efficient, and can have privacy. And that's exactly what the Flare network is built to be. And then you have next to it, XRP is the liquidity network and the efficient digital asset. And you have Bitcoin with all this trapped value that's going to get unlocked, mixed in with these central bank digital currencies. They're coming over to the crypto and blockchain world that already exists. And I think that's very powerful, as it's not crypto going into the traditional markets. It's the traditional markets integrating into crypto. And that's very powerful. And I'm Mickey B. Fresh, and it's the DeFi Standard, and I'm out.